I do think we have this real breadth and depth of talent within our caucus, and I do think it's time to pass the torch to a new generation of leaders, and I want to be a part of that transition. I want to see that happen. I think that we have too many really great members here that don't always get the opportunities that they should, and I would like to see that change.
Congresswoman Linda Sanchez throwing a wrench into Democratic talking points today. The fifth highest ranking House Democrat is essentially calling for a change in leadership. For more on this, I'm joined by Alana Shore, congressional reporter for Politico, and Bob Cusack, editor-in-chief of The Hill. Bob, it is good to see you over a satellite this time. Alana, yes. you as well. I was talking to Congressman Crowley a little bit earlier, and Sanchez is his deputy. He was saying that this is absolutely not the time to talk about this. They've got a ton on their plate, Alana, and that they need to focus on that, not focus on trying to oust Nancy Pelosi.
Well, the big issue here is whether they can actually win back the House with Nancy Pelosi. And let's not forget, her second and third ranked leaders are just as old as she is, frankly. They've been around for just as long. There's a real question as to whether they need new blood before next year.
Bob, I asked Crowley this idea that Nancy Pelosi is potentially ineffective, potentially toxic. Republicans like to use her as a lightning rod. They like to use her in ads against Democrats running for congressional positions. That is how they use her. I asked Crowley if he was concerned about that, and he said essentially that it's sexist to say that Nancy Pelosi is a liability.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that Nancy Pelosi, I mean, she's a great fundraiser, but there is a lot of frustration from younger Democrats in the House, some who have run for the Senate, like Chris Van Hollen, and others who've run for governor, because you can't become a leader in the House on the Democratic side or a ranking member, top Democrat chairman, unless somebody above you retires or dies. So that's where the frustration is. And as Alana said, the top three leaders are all in their upper 70s, and people have I've looked to Joe Crowley, and at the end of last year, some Democrats were urging him to challenge Pelosi, which he didn't do because he's a Pelosi ally.